Hey, it's Carly Burr, and welcome back to Taking Life Offline. Today is the final day, day number 4 of this series that I've been doing over the last 4 weeks of building your offline presence. I am pulling back the curtain as if it's some sort of secret, and it's not. But I'm really sharing with you what I've learned over the past nearly 9 years about how to build an offline presence, because building an offline presence has been the thing that has helped me not desire to go on social media once I left almost 9 years ago. It's been the thing that has helped me become more fulfilled in my life. It's been the thing that has made me into the person I am today, created the relationships I have today, created the life that I live today, which is a fulfilling, satisfying, overall enjoying life full of enjoyment. That's a better way to say it. And that doesn't mean that it's not hard at times. That doesn't mean that there aren't days where I feel crappy. That's just part of life. But what it means is that amidst all of the bad that comes through life and all the good that comes through life, I have been able to have a solid foundation that keeps me in place, that keeps me grounded through the good and through the bad. And most importantly, for what I talk about here, it's helped me stay offline and build my life in a way where I don't need social media to fulfill any wants or any needs for me. So that is why I've been sharing this four-part series with you in hopes to inspire you, in hopes to show you, give you a starting point to what you could do to start building your foundation offline too. So that if your goal is to live life offline, this will help you get there. This will show you what you can do different this time so that when you go offline, you're not feeling like, what am I supposed to do now? You can start laying your foundation and building your offline presence so you will no longer need social media if that is your goal. Or if leaving social media isn't your goal, building offline presence is also very important. I believe building an offline presence is beneficial for everyone. It's really important how we show up in our day-to-day and how we build our life through being present in the aspects that matter. So building an offline presence is important for everyone. So whether you're here to leave social media or whether you're here to figure out how to become more fulfilled in your life, this is a series for you. Now let's get into what aspect number 4 is, the final aspect that goes into building an offline presence, which is your presence in your personal growth and development as well as your spirituality. And I kind of have grouped the two together because in my life they very much have played hand in hand, and they go together like a perfect puzzle piece. They fit together wonderfully, and I will explain why that's been my experience in my life. But I believe in God. I believe that God has a plan for me. I believe He has a plan for you. I believe He has a plan for each of us individually. And I believe that He's put us here so that we can grow, so that we can learn, so that we can expand and we can develop. And how do we go about doing that? How do we go about progressing through life? Through personal growth and development. So in order for me to be able to fulfill God's will for me while I'm here, in order for me to feel aligned with Him, I have to be developing myself. And it's just very much been my experience at every single turn of my life. If I think back to all the times I felt stuck, all the times that I felt lost, all the times I've felt unaligned, in those moments I've always chosen to turn to Him in prayer and follow up that prayer with action, which is the personal growth piece. So connecting to my spirituality and then following it up with the personal growth and the action that comes, the personal growth that comes through action. And through doing that, I have been able to realign myself with what I feel is His will for me every single time. And that has been life-changing for me, to be able to have that formula of personal growth and spirituality, putting them together and staying aligned in His will, helps me every single time I feel off course. And I'm so grateful for that. And it helps me when I'm feeling aligned to stay aligned. And if I'm getting off course, I know I can turn to Him through prayer. And if I'm willing to take the action that I'm feeling inspired to do, even if I don't have a specific action to take, just taking something, a step towards what I think is what maybe might be right, I'm able to find the clarity through that action. So I'm excited to get into today's aspect because it really is the one that is perfect to close out the series with, because it can include all of the previous things we've talked about over the last 3 weeks. So let's get into the specifics of how can we build a presence in our personal growth and development and in our spirituality. Now, before we get into the actual implementation of how you might grow or get inspired to start growing your presence in your personal growth and your spirituality, I wanted to say something first. This is not to be misinterpreted as we are never good enough as we are, that we must continually be outdoing ourselves in order to be enough. Because I actually don't believe that. I know that God loves us as we are, and He accepts us as who we are. All of our flaws and imperfections and all of our shortcomings. He accepts that. He loves us regardless of those things. But I also believe that He rejoices when He sees us recognizing the potential that He has blessed us with. I think He rejoices when He sees us progressing and growing and pushing ourselves throughout our life. I know that it brings Him so much joy when we are able to recognize and lean into our potential. This has very much been my experience, and it's very much been how I've been able to stay close to Him. I know that He has been there right with me through all of my learnings, through all of my shortcomings, and as well as through all the times when I feel aligned, when I land there. I know that He's been right there through it all. Now, here is exactly what I've done or what I do in order to stay present in my personal growth and my spirituality. And this is not meant to be a mirror. I'm not trying to get you to do exactly as I do. I'm just hoping that through sharing what I'm learning and what I've learned, you will have some thought occur to you while listening, or you'll receive some sort of inspiration for how you can do this in your way for your life. And with that being said, number one, we'll start with personal growth and development. How I have grown in my presence and how I'm continuing to grow in my presence all begins with being self-aware. Self-awareness has to be there. You have to be willing to learn to become self-aware and stay self-aware. And I know, and I covered this in aspect number 1 to building your offline presence with self, so go back and listen to that if you want more on self-awareness. I know it can be uncomfortable if you're not used to being honest with yourself. It can be really hard. It's something that the more that you do, the more comfortable it becomes, like most things in life. So becoming and staying self-aware is the first piece in building an offline presence in personal development and growth. I just don't see another way in being able to continually progress and grow through your life and stay present in that without being self-aware. Because how are you supposed to know where you're wanting to go, where you can improve, if you don't currently know where you are? That is why self-awareness is so dang important. So with that, another thing that goes into how I've built my presence with my personal growth and development has been through the stuff that I consume. Books, podcasts, all sorts of things that I can learn from in order to grow and progress and change. So I often read books that help me see things from a different point of view, that help me expand and help me grow. I often listen to podcasts of people who I aspire to have traits that they have. I often listen to the people and read the things that inspire me, that teach me, that help me learn and grow. So finding out, first of all, the way that you learn is very important. I found that through books, I'm able to learn and retain, which is huge, the information that I learn in a book. I often will underline things as I'm reading or take notes, and through doing that, I'm able to maintain the information so that I then know how to implement after reading it. Instead of just reading it thinking, oh, that was so good, I should really do this. Actually taking action and doing the thing and exercising this muscle of continually working on your personal growth and development. So finding out how you learn and how you retain and what is able to inspire you enough to get you into action is important with your personal growth and development as well. Personal growth and development feels so good. When you expand yourself, when you grow, when you see yourself on the other side of a very hard time, having learned a lesson along the way, nothing feels better than that. Personal growth is everything, and honestly, it can fit every single aspect that we've talked about over the last 3 weeks. Personal growth and development is baked into each and every single one of those aspects, because I believe in order to live a fulfilled life, you have to actively working on your personal growth and development. It has to be there. I just don't see another way. And again, maybe I don't see another way because I haven't experienced another way. That's probably what it is. And from people that I've learned from, they prioritize this as well because it's that important and it is that life-changing. I would even go as bold as to say, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling unaligned, if you're feeling off, let's just say that, I would ask yourself, how has my personal growth and development been? Have I been prioritizing and being intentional about my personal growth and development? And if the answer is no, that is the piece that I would lean hard in on, is personal growth and development. Because every single time I've felt that, and I've turned to personal growth and development, and I've turned inward and working on myself, it has helped me get out of that place faster. I'm not saying it's going to cure it, but it'll help you get out of it quicker through the action that you take. So personal growth for me is really all about being self-aware, learning from people who I aspire to have traits that they have, aspire to do amazing, incredible things like they have done in their life and make a difference. So I do that through books and through podcasts. And then the third part of my personal growth and development has all been action. Personal growth and development doesn't happen through stagnancy. It happens through taking action, whether it's super small or whether it's huge and bold. Action is everything in personal growth and development. So that is how I grow my personal growth and development. That is how I have done up to this point. I'm still learning how to do this in my life and forever will, and I'm sure it will look different in different seasons of my life. But that's kind of the gist of how I've grown in my personal growth and development and staying present in this area. Now for the spirituality half of this presence. Being close to God is very important to me. It's something that I prioritize, and I do this through in my prayers every day, and I've done this for years. I always pray that I will be able to know and fulfill God's will for me. I pray that He will help me gain clarity through the action that I'm willing to take. I tell Him that if He helps me know what to do next, if He helps me through that action, I let Him know that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to perform His will for me, to do what He has sent me here to do. So that really helps me maintain my presence in my spirituality. My prayer combined with my action is how I stay present in my spirituality. And I can't tell you how much confidence I have gained through doing this. And this has helped me gain confidence because I prioritize God's opinion of me. I prioritize what He thinks of me. And if I focus on that, other people's opinions, other people's thoughts become much smaller. Sorry for that sound. They become so much smaller if I keep His opinion prioritized. He knows me. He knows my heart. He knows my intentions. He knows me better than anybody else. So if I can make sure that I am pleasing Him, that I am showing Him I'm willing to put forth this effort, if I'm actually putting forth the effort, I find so much confidence in that, and I find so much peace as well. I actually learned a huge lesson in this when I got called. This is a few years ago. I was called to teach the adult women in my area for my church. And this was such an intimidating calling for me. I was very intimidated because I was like, I don't feel qualified to be up here like teaching things I'm still like trying to learn. But in that process, I learned such an important lesson. The way that I was able to stand up in front of a room full of these women and not crumble behind the pressure was because I prioritized the thought. I put it in the front of my mind. God is so proud of me right now. I am putting forth my very best effort right now to bring the Spirit to this meeting. And if I can do my best to prepare myself ahead of time to be able to let the Spirit speak through me to teach these women, then I can do this. And I knew that He was proud of me because I know that He saw the effort that I was putting in to prepare to teach these lessons. He saw me the 3 weeks before it was time to teach. He saw me putting in that time. He saw me studying. He saw me putting together questions to answer, to start good discussions. He saw me putting forth that effort, and I gained so much confidence because I knew that he was proud of me. So I could stand up there and I could teach and I could flop and I could offend people on accident and I could say all the wrong things or the right things, and I could really bring the Spirit and help people. But at the end of the day, regardless of the outcome of the meeting, I felt good because I know that he was pleased with me. I wasn't worried about what the people who were sitting in front of me were judging me for, what they were thinking about me. I just didn't let that entertain my mind. I kept God's opinion front and center. And through that, I apply that in all areas of my life. I always remind myself, what is God thinking of me? Will he be proud of me? Yes, he knows I'm trying my best. He knows I'm a good person. He knows I'm trying to make an impact. He knows that I have good intentions. And so I find so much peace and so much confidence in that. And so through prioritizing my presence and my spirituality, I've been able to gain unshakable confidence. And I've been able to take more action. And I've been able to feel at peace. And I would hope that through prioritizing your presence and your spirituality, you'd be able to experience something similar as well. Honestly, finding and maintaining connection with your higher power will be life-changing. I have no doubt about it. Okay, now a quick recap over the two things that we just went over inside this video. I very sporadically, and I can admit that, I'm okay with it, I'm working on this. I know I'm messy, I know I'm all over the place. This is me exercising my personal growth and development right here. I'm trying to get better at talking about these topics that I'm so passionate about without having to stop myself every sentence. So it's going to sound a little messy, and I'm okay with that. But I just very sporadically went over, one, how I stay present in my personal growth and development through my self-awareness, through taking tons of action, and through learning and prioritizing that along the way. And we also went over number two, how I stay present in my spirituality, which is through prayer followed up by action. And I've been able to find so much confidence and so much peace through my relationship with God and prioritizing what he thinks of me over anything else. I wanted to make sure I emphasized and made it very clear why this specific aspect of growing an offline presence is so important when it comes to being able to leave social media and stay off. When you are actively working on your personal growth and development, when you are present in your spirituality, you will no longer need the validation that you are receiving and seeking online. You can become confident and sure in yourself and your unique path through life. So you will no longer need to flex the life that you've created for yourself to all people that you used to know who once doubted you. You won't have to do that because you'll be peaceful knowing that you've grown as a person. You've changed your life. You've done incredible things. And guess who can validate you for that? If you believe in God, God can. Because his opinion at the end of the day is the only one that matters. So if you can grow in this presence of in your personal growth and in your spirituality, that need that you're feeling, that want to receive the validation from people on how far you've come in your life or this awesome achievement that you have accomplished, you will no longer seek that validation through people online. Because honestly, you should be able to show these things to the people who are actually in your life. Okay, people that you are friends with, people who are your family, they will see the changes in you. They will see the flex without you having to post about it. Because hopefully you prioritize relationships enough that people will care and know enough of what's going on in your life. So that can help too. If you have people in your life who know about things that you're doing, who can see changes happening with you, you won't need to flex people online because people who matter will see it happening actively and hopefully they will care. And then two, God already knows. He knows, he's seen your growth. He's proud of you. So you will no longer need to seek that external validation. That is why I love this specific aspect so much. It gets rid of the need for the external validation. Okay, and something really cool that I wanted to just emphasize one more time. I know I said this at the beginning of this episode, is that personal growth is really baked into every single aspect of building an offline presence. At least it has been for me. That's how I've very much so built my offline presence, and it's been the core of everything that I've done and continue to do. Amidst the wild, crazy ride that life is, it has helped me stay grounded. It's helped me stay in place. no matter what comes my way. So I'm forever grateful that I have dedicated my life to this, and I hope that you start to dabble in it too and make it a priority in your life as well, because I know it will change everything for you. And that, you guys, is it. That wraps up the final episode that goes into this 4-part series of building your offline presence. I have enjoyed thoroughly being able to share the things that I have learned and the things that I am continuing to learn along my way as I am on my own growing my offline presence journey. I hope that whatever all these things that I've talked about have been helpful, have been inspiring, have given you insight into what you can do to start growing your offline presence today and start working towards your goal of living your life offline if that's something that is important to you. So I wanted to do a recap of the 4 aspects that we went over the last month. The first week, you'll remember, was your presence with yourself. The second week was your presence with others, or presence in your relationships. The third week, we went over the aspect of your presence in your hobbies and your interests. And then today, we went over your presence in your personal growth and your spirituality. I can tell you that these 4 core things make up my offline presence, make up the life that I've built that I love, even though it is life. Do not get me wrong. It is life. It can be hard and really bumpy and really sucky at times, but it has made my life into something that I am really proud of amidst the wild ride that life is, something that I thoroughly enjoy. And I know that it can for you too, and I know that it can be something that gets you to the point, if you work on being present in these areas, you will no longer need social media to fulfill the wants and needs that it is maybe fulfilling for you right now. And that is so beautiful. I hope that you found this series helpful, and at the very least, I hope that you found it action inspiring to get you moving towards your goal of either taking your life offline or spending significantly less amount of time on your device or on social media. Building your offline presence will help you reach that goal. Building your offline presence will help you get active in the details of your life, which are the details that matter. So building offline presence is important for whoever you are on whatever path you are currently on. So I hope that this series is able to help you get into action towards building your offline presence. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for following along this 4-part series or joining in today if it was your first time. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear which aspect after today you're going to be intentional about first. What you're going to prioritize, what is really hitting home with you for your life right now. So leave that in the comments of this video, or leave that in the comments if you're listening on Spotify as well. And while I'm talking about this, I would appreciate it so much if you left a review if you enjoyed this series. If you could leave a review on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify so we can help more people find us on this path less traveled. Thank you so much in advance. If you haven't already, be sure to join us inside my free community called Offline, where we support each other through the ups and the downs of navigating life without social media or working towards that point. We want to support you. We want to help you realize that you're not alone in your desires and in this struggle that I know it is to leave social media. So I'll leave the link in the description for you to join us inside my free community so we can support you along your way. Thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you next Monday.